Little goats, yes.
Hi, I'm Belle. These are my goats. Don't chew on that. Sally. I have no idea why you did that. This might be a little tough with Sally around. I wanted to talk a little bit about color genetics for goats and how they work, and also my breeding pairs this year and the color predictions for those breeding pairs. Right, Tum Tum? So let me explain a little bit first. This is a spreadsheet that I made on Google Sheets, and basically it shows the buck, the doe, their two color patterns, and each color pattern that their babies could be. This is Autumn. She doesn't get bred this year because I already have 2 doelings out of her, and her conformation kind of sucks anyway, so you don't pinch down, do you? You just think that feels good. So she's not the best, but hopefully her babies, her daughters, are improvements. This spreadsheet also shows the possible chance of blue eyes, moon spots, polled, which is a goat that is born naturally hornless, and what's the other one? Blue eyes, moon spots, polled, chocolate. That's another one. Forgive me, I'm doing this off of memory alone. I can't see my phone right now. So each goat has 2 color genes, and each parent gives 1 color gene to their baby. So the baby would have 1 color gene from each parent. Now, most patterns are pretty equal in dominance, so if both are present in the goat, both will show in the goat. This goes for Chamois, Buckskin, Swiss, Cou Clair, and a bunch of others. But there are a couple that are specifically recessive or specifically dominant over all the rest. So let me explain that a little bit. So the black color gene is recessive. So that means you need 2 copies, 1 from each parent, in order to have a black goat, a solid black goat. So if a goat has 1 copy of the black color gene and 1 copy of the buckskin color gene, the buckskin would cover that black and it wouldn't be present. So you can't have a solid black goat unless the goat has 2 copies of that black gene. And the reverse of that is gold. Now, the gold gene is dominant over pretty much every other gene you could have. So it's dominant, obviously, over black, over buckskin, over Chamois. I'm trying to look at my goats for reference. Swiss. I don't know if I explained that good enough, but now that that's explained a little bit, let's look at my goats' color predictions for 2026. I think we'll go oldest to youngest, right? So the oldest doe that's been bred this year would be Reven. Reven was bred to Pickles. Now, Reven is what's called a bezoar, which isn't really a typical color pattern. It's more rare than the other ones, but it still has the same amount of dominance as, say, buckskin or Chamois. So it's in that ballpark. Now, she was bred to Pickles, so Pickles is a solid black buck, which means he has 2 copies of that black gene, and that's all he can give to his kids is black. So, Reven has 1 copy of the bezoar gene and 1 copy of the black gene. Now, if Pickles gave his black gene to the kid and Reven gave her bezoar gene, then the kid would be bezoar, because bezoar is dominant over black. But if Pickles gave his black gene and Reven gave her black gene as well, then the kid would be black because it would get those 2 copies of the black gene. So basically, the kids would be black or bezoar. They would have a 50% chance of being either black or bezoar. So since Reven has blue eyes, and blue eyes are dominant, and brown eyes are recessive in goats, since Reven has blue eyes, each baby would have a 50% chance of having blue eyes and a 50% chance of brown eyes. Honestly not sure what order they go in. I think it might be blue eyes, moon spots, polled, and chocolate. So I guess that's the order we'll go in. So moon spots, Pickles has moon spots. So since Pickles has moon spots, the babies would each have a 50% chance of moon spots because that is also a dominant gene. I believe it's an incomplete dominant, which I'm not super familiar with. So, but yeah, they would have a 50% chance of having moon spots. Since none of the parents are polled, none of the babies would be polled. So they would all have a 0% chance of being polled, which is a goat born naturally hornless. And since none of the parents are chocolate, none of the babies would be chocolate either. Now, I never explained chocolate. Chocolate is actually a modifier that goes on top of a pattern and pretty much turns all the black in that pattern to a chocolate color. I believe it can affect the other colors of coat, but mostly it's the black parts of the coat. So basically, chocolate is a modifier that turns all the black in a pattern to chocolate. Now, she does not have any black on her pattern, so that she would be pretty much unchanged if she had chocolate. So yeah, basically that's that for Reven and Pickles. The babies could be bezoar or black. They could have blue eyes. They could have moon spots. And they could not be polled or chocolate. So that's it for those two. Who's next? Fig. Fig is a goat that we were not going to breed this year. We're going to butcher her, but I mean, we've been saying that for like over a year. So I figured if we're not going to butcher her, we might as well breed her and use her. So I'm hoping to fix her udder because it looks terrible. And we can't even milk it because the teats are so small. Hopefully Possum will fix that. So Fig was bred to Possum this year. They are both buckskin, actually. So this is very uneventful breeding. Possum is actually, even though I hate it, he has double copies of the buckskin gene. So he's, I'm going to butcher this word, homozygous, or homozygous, I think. I always called it homozygous. But he's homozygous, whatever that word is, for buckskin. So all that he could give to his kids is the buckskin gene. And since buckskin is a dominant gene, pretty much all his kids are going to be buckskin. It's funny because I really hate the buckskin gene. I hate buckskin, but I'm not breeding for color. I do want to urge everyone to not breed for color. You should breed for structure of a goat, quality of life, longevity, milk production, if you milk, but never ever for color. So even though I hate buckskins, Possum has really nice genetics. So we keep him and we breed him. So Fig is a buckskin, supposedly carrying black. I don't know that she carries black, but she might. We just say that she carries black because that's usually how it is. But she could also be a homozygous buckskin. Not gonna lie. Both her parents were buckskin, so I don't know. And all her kids have been buckskin so far, so I suspect. But I can't prove it. I just can't prove it. So since both the parents are buckskin, Fig has one buckskin gene and one black gene, and Possum has two buckskin genes. Basically the only possibility is buckskin in this scenario, because buckskin paired with buckskin is obviously going to be buckskin, and buckskin paired with black is going to be buckskin because black is recessive, and it won't show in the goat unless there's two copies. I think that was a monarch. I wanted to see it. Man. So Possum actually has blue eyes, so there would be a 50% chance of blue eyes because Possum has blue eyes and Fig has brown eyes. And again, blue eyes are dominant. So Possum does also have moon spots, same as Pickles, but Fig does not. So there would be a 50% chance of each kid getting moon spots. And actually, Fig is polled and Possum is not. So there would be a 50% chance for each kid to be polled. All right, Tum Tum, you look fat already. You're not even pregnant. Why'd I say that? I'm sorry. Whoops. My bad. My bad. You look very skinny. A little fat. You're a little fat. And neither parent is chocolate, again, so none of the babies would be chocolate. So the consensus is all the babies would be buckskin. There would be a 50% chance to have blue eyes, a 50% chance for moon spots, and a 50% chance of being polled. Who's next? Moonpie. Moonpie was bred to Possum this year, same as last year. And Moonpie is also a buckskin. So pretty much all the kids are going to be buckskin again. Possum has blue eyes, so there's a 50% chance of blue eyes. Both Possum and Moonpie have moon spots, so each kid would have a 75% chance of being moon spotted. And neither parent is polled, so no chance of that. Moonpie is actually a chocolate buckskin, so she does have that chocolate gene, and she has a 50% chance of passing that on to her kids. So every baby would be buckskin. There would be a 50% chance of blue eyes, a 75% chance of moon spots, 0% chance of polled, and 50% chance of chocolate. Next is Mink, and Mink is a bezoar, so this is where it gets a little complicated because we're combining two genes that have equal amounts of dominance, so they're going to show at the same time in the goat. So for their babies, they would have a 50% chance of being just buckskin and a 50% chance of being a bezoar buckskin combo. So this can show up as red buckskin, which is basically something that happens when buckskin is paired with certain other patterns. Bezoar is one of those patterns, which when it's paired with that pattern, it can leave the kind of buckskin cape residue, and it will kind of have like a faint red cape. That is a possibility, but it's not what all buckskin bezoar combos will look like. Most will just look like a bezoar with a few changes. And both parents actually have blue eyes, so each kid has a 75% chance to be blue-eyed. Possum has moon spots, so each kid has a 50% chance of being moon spotted. Neither parent is polled, and neither parent is chocolate. So the kids would either be a buckskin bezoar combo or buckskin. They would have a 75% chance to have blue eyes. They would have a 50% chance of having moon spots, and 0% chance of being polled or being chocolate. Now next is Kitty. We actually haven't bred Kitty this year yet, but I'm going to. She just hasn't come into heat yet, but I'm determined she will come into heat. She will. She's not staying here another year. She's not freeloading here another year. So Kitty is also a buckskin. For being someone who hates buckskins, I sure have a lot of them. So every baby is going to be buckskin again. Kitty actually could also be homozygous buckskin. Both her parents were buckskins, but I just don't know. I can't prove it. I suspect I just can't prove it. So we're going to give her a black gene for this scenario, even though it wouldn't really matter because all the kids are going to be buckskin anyway. So what's the point, right? I'm not breeding Kitty to Possum. Are you kidding me? Dude. Kitty's going to be bred to Pickles. So Kitty is going to be bred to Pickles. Pickles is black, and Kitty is a buckskin. Kitty could be a homozygous buckskin, but I can't prove it. So we're just going to give her the black gene for this scenario. So if Kitty has that black gene, there is a 50% chance for the babies to be black and a 50% chance for the babies to be buckskin. Now, neither Kitty nor Pickles, neither Kitty nor Pickles have blue eyes, so it would just be brown eyes. So 0% chance of blue eyes. Both Pickles and Kitty have moon spots, so the kids would have a 75% chance of being moon spotted. Kitty's actually polled, so each kid would have a 50% chance of being polled, and neither of them are chocolate, so no chance of chocolate. And now Squid. Squid. If you follow my Instagram, you would know that Squid was our goat that went missing for a month in May and June, and we thought she was eaten by a mountain lion, but she was actually stuck in some hay bales over there, just right over there. She didn't make a peep the entire time, except for on day 35 of being missing. She was like, you know what, I guess I'll start screaming now. What is wrong with goats? So anyway, we've spent the last few months trying to get her weight back up, and now she weighs more than she did before she went missing. So that's very good. She's 40 pounds now, so I feel pretty comfortable breeding her, and I did. Squid was bred to Possum, and Squid has double black genes, so she is a black goat, and Possum, of course, obviously, for the 50th time in a row, has double copies of buckskin. But since buckskin is dominant over black, and Possum does not have any black genes to give the kids, every kid is going to be buckskin because it's a fight against buckskin and black, and buckskin's gonna win every time because it's dominant over black, because black is recessive. Possum has blue eyes, so each kid would have a 50% chance of having blue eyes. Both parents are moon spotted, so each baby would have a 75% chance of being moon spotted. Neither parent is polled, so 0% chance of that, and neither parent is chocolate, so 0% chance of that. And that's it. That is it for my breedings this year. I could do a more in-depth video about color genetics, but I mostly wanted to explain that a little so that I could explain my breeding pairs because I wanted to talk about them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Look at this. I have a little cuddle party back here. Huh, guys? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. It's a little bit of color genetics and also all of my breeding plans for this year. Yay! I'm so excited.